The Billy Mitchell one's incredible. Well, you guys know I love incredible things, so yeah, sure. You know what? Let's do it. Cheater. Billy Mitchell just got destroyed by new evidence, right? We already didn't we have all the evidence we needed that he was a cheater? Okay. Hey, at least he never cheated at speed running, am I right? Because that's actually a mortal sin. Okay.
Hello, you absolute legends. In 2019, video game player of the century Billy Mitchell
Wow,
sued
he looks like he looks like something else back in the
Twin
day, huh? That's me.
for defamation after they removed his high scores from their database and said he didn't achieve them on original hardware. For almost 4 years,
Does original hardware mean that you cheated, or just that you used like other hardware?
this lawsuit has dragged on, and thankfully for everyone involved, it looks like it should be wrapping up and going to trial sometime this year. The crux of Twin Galaxy's defense so far has been centered around 2 videotapes that show Billy's high scores, and it's been proven beyond a shadow of a doubt that the gameplay seen on these videotapes cannot come from an original Donkey Kong arcade.
Why? Educate me.
Instead, they must have come from an emulator.
I'm too.
Billy Mitchell seems to have lied and said he played on an arcade machine when he in fact didn't. And
how do they know that though? Like just a quick rundown.
This opens up the possibility for cheating in numerous ways. In his lawsuit against Twin Galaxies, Billy claims these videotapes don't matter because he achieved the scores live and he has witnesses. How is it possible that he performed them at a live event in front of hundreds of people if he faked it and actually played on an emulator? The videotapes must be fake or are not his actual gameplay, or should just be ignored because he has real people that say he really did it, and they saw it happen, so it must be legit. As Billy said in his lawsuit,
I mean, that is a good argument. If he did it again or something live, then how could you say that?
If everyone is lying, it must be a conspiracy akin to that of the Kennedy assassination.
Damn.
But here's the problem. The videotapes were the only tangible evidence these scores ever happened, so that's all anyone had to go off. Aside from the tapes, it was just people saying that it happened, which really doesn't cut it.
Why didn't Billy just try to do it again? I mean, I know it could be tough to like redo like a top tier high score, but why wouldn't he just try to do it again or something?
There was no footage of Billy actually playing. There was nothing to indicate that he was even there or that he played at all. That is, until now. For the first time in 15 years, photos of Billy Mitchell at one of these events where he claims to have achieved one of his world records have surfaced.
Wow. Somebody must have went back in time, took a picture, and left it under somebody's doormat. That's the only explanation.
And I'm not going to beat around the bush. These photos absolutely destroy Billy's case.
Damn,
he is done. There is no more doubt Billy will lose his lawsuit. These photos do more damage than anything that has come before them, and I'm not exaggerating. Even if you disregard
how do they do more damage? Wouldn't that help him?
all of the videotape evidence, Billy's world records would still be disqualified, and he would still be banned for lying just because of these photos. So how is that even possible? Let's find out.
It sounded like the guy that played Mario in the Mario movie. Forget his name though. He's a good actor.
I really hope you enjoy.
The movie wasn't good, but not the new one, the old one.
Now, legends, I am super excited because this video is sponsored by Magic Spoon. Magic Spoon is a high-protein, zero-sugar cereal that just might be the greatest thing humans have ever invented. I absolutely
Is this the non-binary cereal?
love cereal. I could easily smash an entire box. But generally, cereal has very high sugar and low protein. It's just not ideal for someone like me who wants to lose fat and build muscle. When Magic Spoon wanted to sponsor...
Hello,
you
Didn't mean to click that button. All I was going to say is just don't eat cereal.
Spoon is a high-protein, loves...
Right. Yeah,
it's just not skeptical for someone like me.
This is such a good idea, though. The QR code at the top right. It's smart as fuck, brother. But we're going to skip past it. Oh, Magic Spoon. Woo, yeah. Wait, how does he
just
look?
It tastes. I died because of its macronutrient profile, but it honestly feels like I'm cheating because of how delicious it tastes.
Looks like he doesn't like it. I don't know. Just kidding. Use the code LEGEND for $5 off and 100% money back guaranteed.
MagicSpoon.com/legend to get $5 off today. When Twin Galaxies banned Billy Mitchell in 2018, they did so because of videotapes showing 2 scores. The first is a 1.047 million point score Billy achieved in 2004, known as the King of Kong score. It's called this because this score is featured in the King of Kong documentary. The second is a 1.05 million point score Billy achieved in 2007, which is known as the Mortgage Broker's score. This is because he supposedly achieved it at a mortgage broker's convention. The videotapes for both of these scores show footage that isn't legitimate. This is a fact, and it's why he was banned. But aside from that...
Both playthroughs? Oh, how could you fucking do this to me, bro? I rooted for you. I'm just kidding. I don't care about this guy. But Bob Hoskins. That's the original, from the original Mario Brothers movie. So...
There was no other evidence that Billy even played the game, aside from a few people saying it happened. Well, to be completely fair...
Yeah, the small gut membership does give you access to Discord. There's literally no benefit to giving me a membership over the small gut right now. So, just letting you guys know.
The King of Kong score actually does have 0 witnesses. It's the mortgage broker score that Billy has a few witnesses for. And it's this mortgage broker's score that we now have photos for. So let's take a deeper look into this. Of course, as the tape shows the score wasn't done on an original arcade, we'd assume he didn't actually get the score at the event. But for a moment, let's forget all about the videotape and humor Billy's argument that the tapes don't matter. In his lawsuit against
Bro, you know what they need to do? They need to like make these people fucking FBI investigators, because somehow video game nerds are better at investigating shit than the FBI is themselves.
Twin Galaxies, Billy submitted 5 witness statements saying they were at the event when the score happened. 2 of these statements are from people who worked at the convention. They just say they were there when it happened, but they don't say they actually saw him get it. And they aren't even Donkey Kong players, so they have no idea what's going on.
At that moment, I was at the registration table. Okay. I was within a few feet watching the activities. When the score was achieved, there was a lot of congratulations, handshakes, and appreciations.
Anyway, we all know that Billy likes to lie in public, as he recently showed, so a random person thinking a score happened when it really didn't doesn't mean much. So we can disregard those 2 statements. This leaves 3 witnesses that say they directly saw him get the world record. The first is from a guy called Richard Mallion. He says he watched Billy's score reach beyond 1 million points and that he saw him achieve his targeted score. Richard is actually a childhood friend of Billy's. In fact, he appeared opposite Billy in the school yearbook. But let's not hold that against him. While it is common for friends to lie for each other, let's not assume that's what happened. Now, when I'm deciding whether
Listen, it's a good friend then. It's a good friend.
or not someone is trustworthy, what I do is create 2 columns. One for yes, I should trust them, and one for no, I should not. Then I put things into each column and weigh them up at the end. So first, I can see that Richard dresses really well. He has a nice suit, and he has a nice watch. No one who dresses this well could lie. So
What? Why are you talking about? Are you trolling me?
I'm going to put that into the yes column.
You're fucking trolling me. That has nothing to do with anything, okay? Those people, I feel like people in fucking nice suits lie more than anybody else. Does he curse a lot? That means he's telling the truth, okay?
For the no column, there isn't much I found out about Richard that really concerns me, except for this super
That's his fucking hair.
tiny detail of him pleading guilty to conspiracy, securities fraud, money laundering, and criminal contempt in 1996 after an FBI sting operation.
That might hurt his credibility just a smidgen.
I mean,
okay?
It's probably nothing, but it would be remiss of me if I didn't include it. Back to the yes column, Richard just seems like a super friendly and nice guy.
That means he's a bad guy, okay? People who seem friendly, according to Sunny V2, are actually fucking rapists and predators, so we have to be careful of those people.
I mean, no one who looks this happy could lie, so this has to go into the yes column. Now, looking at the no column, I'm going to be super nitpicky here and include this other small thing. And look, maybe this is being too
What is he, a Scientologist?
judgmental, but I'm going to go ahead and add to the fact that he was charged again with fraud in 2019 by the SEC.
But what kind of fraud? What is fraud? Like, what kind of fraud is there? Like ice cream fraud? I feel like that's not that bad.
And had to pay back $750,000.
Damn, sounds like he's got a lot of money.
It's probably not even worth bringing up, but again, I just want to be fully transparent. However, I must say that Richard has some really good motivational quotes on his Twitter feed. I mean, look at these quotes. They are
Our lives are not as limited as we think they are. The world is a wonderfully weird place. Wow. Tom Robbins. Did somebody really make that quote? Because that quote is fucking trash.
truly inspirational, and he put his name in bigger text than the person who actually said the quote. So when they are truly inspirational, and he put
This one says logic will get you from an A to a B. Imagination will take you everywhere. And that's from Albert Einstein. He overquoted an Albert Einstein. Holy fuck.
his name in bigger text than the person who actually
Incredible. Logic will get you from A to B. Imagination will take you everywhere. Okay.
said the quote. So when you think about it, who said the quote really? I'm going to have to put this into the yes column. Now, I should probably leave it there, and at this point, I really am not being fair to Richard, but I'll just add one more thing, and I'll let you decide. In 2021, Richard was unfortunately arrested for conspiracy to commit fraud.
Damn. That's rough.
Look, he has just not been lucky when it comes to fraud. He
True.
keeps getting caught. I, for one, do not hold this against him. When I look at this table,
I'm lucky because I haven't been caught. Wrongful or criminal deception intended to result in financial or personal gain. Wow, that doesn't sound anything like lying about like a video game score.
I see 3-3. It's pretty even. Personally, I'm leaning towards trusting the guy, but you let
Oh, shit, fraud again, and then attempted fraud, not a fraud. Okay,
me know in the comments what you think.
not quite fraud, almost fraud. Okay, it's only 2.5 frauds, guys.
Okay, so Billy's first witness is a bit sketch.
fuck
Who's
is that?
number 2? Billy's second witness that says he saw him get it is Todd Rogers. Oh boy, this is not going well. Okay, hit
Damn, how old are you with that haircut, bro? Come on.
me with number 3. Surely we're going to get a winner.
All right, I got a haircut too. Like shit.
The third witness that says they saw Billy get the score is Kim Mahoney, who is
Yeah.
also Todd Rogers' girlfriend. I'm going to be completely honest here.
Okay.
I'm getting the impression that Billy's witnesses may not be entirely trustworthy.
Well, what's wrong with the guy in the middle? I'm not super educated, okay, other than his haircut and his weird mustache.
Anyway,
actually kinda
let's
like
take a
his
look at these
mustache.
new photos. Remember, this is the first time we've seen any footage of Billy at this event in 15 years. So there's Billy and Todd, and Billy's talking to some dude, and that looks like the Donkey Kong cabinet behind Billy.
Yeah.
It's got a VCR on top, which is how they recorded the score. It
Okay.
all looks pretty legit so far.
Sure.
There's Billy and Todd posing with a couple of people. There's
I
a
agree.
camera that was recording Billy play, even though that footage doesn't seem to exist for some reason.
Yeah.
Here's Billy and Todd posing again with the thumbs up. Maybe
Okay.
this is just after Billy got the world record. I have to admit, everything here looks pretty legit, and oh my god, what is that?
What? I'm trying to see what he... is it a phone? Is it his phone? What is it? What is it? What is it?
That joystick is not an original Donkey Kong joystick.
What the fuck? You nerds are so weird.
This arcade machine
Wait, what? What?
does not have original, unmodified Donkey Kong arcade hardware. This is an original Donkey Kong stick. It's got a
Oh.
big black ball and a short column. The stick on Billy's arcade is a tall stick with a smaller ball, and it's obviously
But does that matter?
red, so the stick has been changed to something else. On top of that, it appears to be an 8-way stick. Now, the original Donkey Kong stick is 4-way, which means
Oh.
it can only go up, down, left, and right. But an 8-way stick, like the one you would find on all modern arcades, can also go diagonally. When it comes to Donkey Kong, an 8-way stick fundamentally changes the way the game can be played.
Shit. Does it really? Like, genuine question, okay? And the only reason I say, okay, that is like, listen, I'm not a nerd like this guy is, okay? But I understand what he's saying because you can go diagonally. My thing is that if you're not programmed to be able to go diagonally, can you actually go diagonally? Like, would the programming prevent it? And wouldn't we have identified this diagonal issue in his recording that he put up? So is this actually a problem? Or is it just an updated stick that doesn't actually benefit at all?
If you want to steer barrels while on a ladder, you have to stop and hold left or right, because you can't go up and to the side at the same time. But with an 8-way stick, you can continue to climb ladders while steering barrels by using the diagonals. With an 8-way stick, you can do things you can't do on an original arcade, which is why they are banned. So not
Oh. Okay, I guess I'm wrong.
only is the stick not original, which was totally banned, it looks like an 8-way stick, which is extra banned. And not only would Billy's world record still not count because of the modified stick, but Billy would still also be banned for lying
Damn.
about it. And oh boy, did he lie
Damn.
about it. His entire lawsuit against Twin Galaxies is based on the premise that he played on unmodified original arcade hardware.
Oh, okay. I just don't know how it works. Like, I would have thought that they was only programming for up and the side and that, like, it wouldn't matter. But that's weird to me then. So, like, you're telling me that the game itself is programmed to jump up and to the side, but you can also jump diagonally. But since they only use a control that's up and that doesn't have diagonal movement, the character physically can't move diagonally just because the hardware itself can't keep up with the game. That's such a bizarre concept to me.
Which is categorically not true, not only from the videotapes, but now from the photos as well. And his lawsuit is full of lies where Billy claims the hardware was unmodified. And not just Billy, the referees who adjudicated the score lied as well. Todd
Damn,
Rogers
dude.
and his girlfriend Kim Mahoney both say in their sworn statements that Billy played on unmodified hardware. Everyone just got caught out, big time. And it gets even worse, because these photos don't just affect the mortgage broker's score world record, they also affect the King of Kong score as well. This is Robert Childs, who is also a longtime friend of Billy Mitchell. For those with a very good
Nice
memory,
week.
this is the same guy that was in the infamous fake board swap video. He has been lying on behalf of Billy for years. He is part of the con artist clique. Robert Childs runs Arcade Game Sales, which is an arcade retailer in Florida. Arcade Game Sales is important because this is where Billy claims he achieved the King of Kong world record, on an arcade cabinet provided by Robert Childs. Now, as part of his case, Billy Mitchell also submitted a sworn statement from Robert Childs, and Robert states in 2003 he helped Billy by providing an arcade machine. He swore that this was an original Donkey Kong arcade machine. He says this same
Damn.
machine was used when Billy
The plot thickens. It really is a fucking assassination thing. Like they said before, this conspiracy goes so deep, dude. The FBI must have been in on this.
He got his King of Kong score in 2004, and says the same machine was used again in 2007 at the Mortgage Brokers Convention. This means that not only is the Mortgage Brokers score disqualified because it was a modified machine,
Wait, this is the same machine? Holy fuck, dude. This is going deep.
but because Robert Childs swears it was the same machine used in 2004, the King of Kong score is disqualified as well. Billy Mitchell, Todd Rogers, Kim Mahoney, and Robert Childs were all lying about the arcade machine that was supposedly used.
Imagine being the lawyers here, and you have to explain this absolute fucking nerd shit to every single juror that doesn't understand anything that's going on.
And now, it's proven. You may be wondering why Billy would lie about something that can so obviously be disproven. And the answer is that Billy didn't know these photos existed. In fact, the entire Donkey Kong community didn't know these photos existed. They were only made public recently, and not by Billy Mitchell. These photos were never made public, and they were only retrieved
How would they retrieve?
now by directly contacting the organizers of the convention, which luckily still had them. I cannot stress enough how damning these photos are. Even if you were to disregard every single thing that has ever been said about Billy being a cheater up until this point, based solely on these photos, Billy would still lose his lawsuit against Twin Galaxies. His records would still be removed, and he would still be banned, because these photos show his records are not legitimate. I cannot wait until this goes to trial, and you best believe that when it does, I'm going to cover it. I'm excited, and I think you should be too.
Was Billy Mitchell in the Pixel movie?
Because this is going to be a lot of fun. As always, thank you so much for watching, you legends. I hope you are having a fantastic day.
Okay, well, that was interesting. Fucking nerd shit, though.
I want Papa Gut to pee on my face, but just as a friend. There's nothing weird about that. I want him to pee on my face.